Hey guys, I saw so many of you in the chat. I thought it's rude to to leave you hanging. I hope you're all okay. Did everybody have a good day today? You put the kettle on. Oh bless you. Who have we got in? We've got a few in already. We might have a guest over in a little while. Hello Amber, Mystic Merman, Langan, Pink Warrior, Luna. I hope you're all well. We should have Eves in a little while as well. I got good rest yesterday. It was fantastic. I'm healing pretty well. You see? Hey, Honest Rage. I hope you're okay. Yeah, I'm healing pretty well. I'm feeling loads better. I had a bit of so I had some family stuff I needed to sort out really early this morning. So that's why I didn't come on live last night, guys. So I'm sorry about that. But it has given me a bit of a chance to catch up with some stuff. Obviously, a Dragonfly, stuff mostly that I've had sent over to me. I'm not going to say too much about it, but it's going to be out sometime during this week, and that's all I've got to say about it. It's pretty interesting, guys. Pretty damn interesting. It's to do with a certain creator that we nicknamed Stan. So, I hope you're well, Dragonfly. I hope you're well, darling. So, yeah, I don't know if I've missed much on YouTube over the last couple of days. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't get over to watch many people. I've not had a chance. I've been really busy all day, and then we're really early as well, guys. I've come on really early. Nobody's expecting me on yet. Just bear with me 1 second. Yeah, so we have something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages of criminal records, guys, for certain people, and it will be coming out in the week. Okay, Hoops, I'm gonna send you an email as well. And Long Gone as well. I need to send you an email as well about something. We're on Wednesday today, aren't we? So I think probably Friday or Saturday we can have a really, really, really good talk about it. Well, how are you guys? You all okay? Did you have a good day? Did you miss me yesterday? Ah, bless you. Hey, Cisco. Hope you're well, darling. I hope you're well. So tonight, really, it's somebody. What boy might be popping over. I don't know. I'm not too sure if he's going to pop over, but like I said, I am really, really. Oh, did you miss me, Cisco? I am really early. I wasn't going to come on for another 20 minutes, so. Oh, bless you. Virtual look back to you as well. So today's been a bit of an interesting day. It's just email after email after email after email I've been getting, and I'm not even joking. It's just gone crazy. So I think somebody will be going very, very quiet very, very quickly. I said I'm not going to say too much about it, but it's regarding Stan. Put it like that. It's regarding Stan. Yes. We've got the ammo now. We've got the ammo now, girls. We have the ammo. We have the means now to take him completely what the fuck off the face of YouTube. But no, I can't say anything about it just yet. Nothing about it. Maybe over this weekend we can have a good talk about it. I noticed that there's a few people now that's calling him out as well. And he seems to have gone very, very quiet. I know, very, very quiet. So, Bitchelina's still out. She's still streaming, I think. Oh, what's this? Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. My cousin went through that. She was only something like 36 when she went through the menopause. She was really young. I think she was something like 8 years old when she started a period. So she was, it was one of those ones. Oh, we love you too. We love you too, Mystic Man. Like I said, I did schedule tonight for 9:05, but I thought, you know what, I'll come on early. Hello, no drama. Hope you're well. We don't intend on having too much drama tonight, but it will be building up ready for the weekend, guys. Because there's a lot of shit about to come out. There's a lot of shit about to hit the fan. It's going to get messy. It's going to get real, real messy. Just put it like this. Point proven. Yeah, no, yeah, that's the best part about it. We'll wait. We'll wait because what we've got is good enough. We'll wait. I mean, you guys know if you saw that cease and desist I put the other day. Obviously the name was bang on because he reported it straight away. Copyright reported it, and he can be streaming me now saying that's not my real name, but we all know it is. We all know it is. I don't know, guys. Maybe you guys should look into it yourself because it is serious. Like there's a lot of Kimmy. There's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, you're caught up now. Okay. I think you got the same message I got. Who's I hope. How you doing, Kimmy? I hope you're well, darling. I hope you're well. Yeah, so I don't know. I've not caught much of what's been going on, to be honest with you. I've had that many emails come through, as I've said, that many records that I've had to go through. That it's just took my time up mostly yesterday and today. Oh, Jesus. I don't know if you guys went on to my I did want to say something about this today as well on my community post yesterday. I put on a story that had happened in Liverpool, and it was a 9-year-old. That's okay, Kimmy. A 9-year-old child was shot dead in Liverpool. Apparently, a guy was chasing another guy with a gun. This guy running into a house, and a little girl. I'm not sure if they said it was a little girl or a little boy, but the kid was 9 years old and got shot in the chest, dead. And from what I know, the gunman got away, but the adults in the house was actually left really injured as well. So that was something crazy that's been going on again. Hey, Tamra. Hey, Nelly. I hope you're well. Yeah, so it's been absolutely crazy what's been going on this last couple of days. It was a girl. See, the news report did say that she was 9. Let me see. Yeah. They did say it was a girl, but they said she was age 9 hooves. So I don't know if that's been updated now. But it's terrible. It's terrible. But, you know, it was over 10 or 15 years ago now. The same thing happened in Liverpool. A young boy was riding his bike on a car park of a pub, and he was only like a wee boy, and he was shot dead as well. Um, I think it's really, really bad at the minute that, you know, there just don't seem to be any regard for kids' lives anymore. You know, and I don't think kids have really got the values kind of with what we had in, well, most kids don't tend to have the value, you know, the values that was installed into us. You know, they're so disrespectful, and well, you kind of, you know, when you're watching YouTube and you see some of the adults, yeah, 15 years to the day, that's exactly right, Hooves. That was one of the saddest things I saw, and it was terrible. It was terrible. And now this has happened to this little girl, and it's, oh, thank God for that. So they should. So they should. Because I mean, it's not just Liverpool that has a problem. I mean, London is absolutely riddled with gun crime. Um, and Birmingham, I think people, especially people from the States, they want to travel to the UK, and they've got this big, you know, picture of this really posh people walking around, you know, they're very far and few in between. You know, most of us from the UK, like me, or like Carl, or, you know, y- you have to fight for everything here. You know, we don't, you know, people that was born in the UK don't have a lot of rights, unfortunately. They got some. Yeah, that's what the police are saying. It was a 9-year-old. So I'm not sure who's poor. I know. I mean, Jesus Christ. Imagine. Imagine. Do you know what I mean? You just can't. But this is a generation that are coming up now. You know, when this other little boy got killed 15 years ago, as who's just said, it was 15 years to the day. It's mostly gang wars, who've, yeah. Um, this kid was shot on a pub car park, I think it was. Shot dead just after football practice, you know, and then 15 years to the day, this little girl gets shot dead. You know, a mum's opened the door to somebody that was running into the house because obviously they was frightened or something. The gunman's gone in, killed the child, but everybody else has survived. You know, um, what's this? London police are doing them as well. My daughter lives in London. My older daughter. London's a bad place. People think it's all, you know, like I say, people in America especially, you know, you think that London's is, oh my God. If you start stepping out the outskirts of London, or just in some parts of London, and you're not from there, place is bad. Bad, bad. Birmingham's bad. You know, that's really bad as well. And it's all gang violence. Down in Birmingham, where I was from, you had two main gangs, and there was the Burger Bar crew and the Johnson crew. And those two gangs, I mean, the gun violence was unbelievable, you know. But if anybody got caught in the crossfire, it was just they just don't care. These people do not care. And most of these kids, people that are running around with guns are fucking kids, you know. But then again, when we see adults behaving like the way they do, you know, is there any wonder what how these kids are turning out the way they are? You know, when they've got, I mean, we see some of these creators and how they carry on, and they've got fucking kids in the background. You know, what kind of example am you showing your kids? You know, when my kids was growing up, my kids will tell you, I was a hardball on them. I was so firm. You know, mostly because I didn't want them to kind of grow up and have the life I had. But I was strict. I still am strict. My fucking 24-year-old daughter phoned me, or my 25-year-old daughter phoned me last week, joking me, telling me she was pregnant. And I went fucking nuts. You know, basically only West London is knows. It's terrible, you know. But even in West London, it's not safe. It's just not safe. Nowhere is safe. Kids are not safe anywhere. You couldn't let your kid I'm going back like 34, 40 years ago when I was a kid. You know, you could go anywhere. You could go anywhere. Your parents would go out and leave the doors open and, you know, not have to lock the doors and all that shit. There wouldn't, you know, there was no big worry about fucking kids getting snatched then. No. See, that's what people think, because that's how it's portrayed to people abroad. You know, because they want the tourism in. But London's a shithole. I'm telling you now, it's a real bad shithole. I mean, fuck me, you walk 10 minutes from Buckingham Palace and you're lucky you don't get mugged. You know, it's bad place. Even the smaller towns. Yeah. They are indeed. I mean, I'm from Birmingham. My mum's family live in like the Dudley area, and that's got really bad. A friend of mine, her son was shot on the doorstep. You know, and it's really, really scary. No, it's not, Kimmy, you're right. You're right, darling. But the thing is, Kimmy, the children that are doing these things, they're not much more than children themselves. You know, and where do these children get this kind of behaviour from? It comes from the parents, obviously. You know, when you see these adults acting stupid, it's their children that are doing these kind of crimes and stuff. You know, I mean, you don't have to be battering your kids around to install discipline. I've never had to touch my children. You know, but you damn right the discipline was installed into them. Damn right there was. You know, if my kids ever talk to an adult with disrespect, I mean, even to this day, the manners that my children have are impeccable, and they're all adults. You know, but people, it's not installed into these kids now. It's just not installed. It's a different generation. It's like from the 90s. I don't know what happened after the 90s. I do not know. No, in fact, I do not know what happened after the 80s. You know, the whole world just seemed to have changed. Hey, voices. The whole world seemed to have changed. You see, that's what I love about Ireland, is that, I mean, obviously you have your, things happen, you know, you have your paramilitary trouble, but apart from that, you don't get like big gang violence here, and you know you can walk around the kind of worstest of neighbourhoods and you're alright. You know, people don't bother you unless you bother them. You can kind of go out and leave your door still open and not have to worry. But in England, it's terrible now. It's absolutely terrible. But I mean, kids being murdered out in the streets, and I mean, this is not even out in the street. I mean, this kid was murdered in her own home. It is what it is, and it just seems like there's just nobody's off the table anymore. You know, it's terrible. But like I say, I mean, you have to look at the parents, really, and you know, look at these people that I'm doing these crimes, and most of them are, you know, teens or early 20s, and it's over something stupid like I don't know, £500 drug deal or something, and people are being killed over it. You know, I always thought to myself that maybe if they legalised firearms in England, well, in the UK, which I always thought that they should. I think everybody should have a right to be able to protect themselves. You know, what are you going to do if someone breaks into your house with a gun in their hand? What am you going to do? You know, hold a knife up to them. Fucking, you know, and people out there, you know, they're picking up these firearms from all over the place. But if someone busts into your house, in the UK, if someone busts into your house and you beat that person to death, you're going to jail. Even if he's just threatened your, you know, one of your kids with, you know, you are going to jail for protecting, you know, yourself, your home, and your kids. That's how it works. That's what I fucking hate about this country. Well, not just the country, the fucking whole of the UK. It's ridiculous. You know, I know if somebody broke into my house where my kids was, I would fucking beat them to death. Damn right. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. I mean, you see, when we was kids, you couldn't give the teachers shit. They had the right to clip you around the back of the head. You know, you couldn't do this shit. And now the teachers are frightened of the kids. That's the problem now. We was all frightened of the teachers. You know, and the kids now don't give a fuck. The teachers are sitting there petrified. I've always said the same thing, and I still say the same thing now, Nana Kelly. I am not your friend, I am your mother, and I will always be your mother. Do not put me in that bracket, ever. You know, you have to. I know, I mean, I have probably been more overprotective, you know, but of course I'm gonna be overprotective. But you know, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, your children are your queen. What's that? Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. You see, um, a lot of the kids, you know, like these kids that I'm coming up now, and I don't mean it in. I'm not saying that all kids have, you know, but you have to understand that from, you know, I'm talking about from my age, so 40 plus. You know, when we was kids, it was nothing like it is now. You know, we weren't taking drugs 40 years ago. I mean, some of these kids now are hitting drugs at 11 and 12 years old because the parents are doing it. You know, they're robbing it off the parents. And it's like, what's that one? She did. She did. And it's absolutely disgusting. You see, the thing is as well, it's like okay, so like pepper spray, for example. I mean, I have a really, really, really good. You know what, ladies, and I swear to God, this is the best thing you could ever do and ever carry, right? You all know what Scotch bonnet peppers are? They're only little things like this, but they will burn the fucking arse off you. And what I would suggest, right, and believe me, it's like acid going in someone's face, but it obviously it doesn't work like acid. So if you get about 10 Scotch bonnet peppers and you boil them, crush them, put the water into a spray bottle, and you see if you have to spray that shit in somebody's face, it's doing more damage than pepper spray. And it's completely, I'm telling this mostly to the women that are in the UK, it's completely legal. Do you know what I mean? Scotch bonnet peppers, boil them right the way down, let the water cool, put it in a bottle, and I promise you, especially one of them bottles that like do a long spray, that shit will they won't be able to see for fucking days. Do you know what I mean? And it's completely legal. Let's see. No, we're not gonna have no trash in here tonight. I'm going to see. Hey, how you doing, Pink Warrior? Hope you're well. Yeah. So yeah, get to that. Honestly, it's the best thing, especially if you live in the UK. Scotch bonnet peppers, and believe me, nobody's doing shit with that sprayed in the fucking face. It's like 50 times stronger. What's a nightmare, Tamara? It's like 50 times stronger. What's going on? What am I missing? Oh, good voices. I hope everybody's okay. I hope you're well, darling. I hope you're well. Nice to know. That's exactly what it is, Mama Bird. You know, when the teachers try and install it into the kids at school, you know, they don't give a fuck. It's just like, well, I don't listen to my mum. I want to listen to you. You know, and it's really, you know, when my youngest daughter, before she left school, and one of my friends growing up was a deputy head of her school, and I went in to see him this day, you know, sitting down and talking, and he was telling me, he was saying to me, you know, he says some of these teachers, he says, are absolutely petrified of the kids that they're teaching. And I was like, what do you mean? If we have the parents in, the parents threaten the teachers, so the kids are threatening the teachers. The kids are even the parents doing it, so they're doing it. You know, treat the teachers like them trash. And he was saying that if we have to expel or suspend every fucking kid that does it, we'd have no kids in the school. You know, that's the problem. I know. Could you imagine? Could you imagine, Tamara? That's okay, voices. No, it's just 15 years to the day though as well, you know, and that was a really, really, really fucking sad affair. It really was. But you know, like I say, look at the people we're dealing with now. I was talking to you guys about my friend Julie. I don't know how many of you actually managed to get over and watch the documentary. If you just bear with me. Oh, fucking studio. I don't know what I'm working. Hang on. Okay. I'm gonna put this in the chat for you guys because okay, that's a new one there. Right, how long's this one on for?
We're looking for a female missing person who's been missing for about 11 days. Okay. Got picture on CCTV with someone that matches your description with her, so we just want to get some details from her. She's been missing for 11 days, so obviously we need to find her. Okay. And because you look like the person we've seen on CCTV, we just get some details from her.
This was a friend of mine. This is when murderers was being arrested.
Yo, this is the Scar City Studios YouTube channel.
Excuse me. Hang on, I've got the wrong one anyway. Basically, Julie was a good friend of mine. Let me see if I can find the actual proper. Yeah, she was a really good friend of mine. No, I don't want to download it.
Julia Rawson was a happy, bright young woman who seemingly vanished following a warm day in May of 2019. Investigators began to retrace her steps, unaware that they were about to unfold one of the darkest cases they'd ever encountered. Julia had walked into what they described as the flat of horrors, becoming the pawn.
Okay, so what had happened is my friend, this has been crazy. So this last 2 years, my life has just been turned upside down. So first of all, 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago now, my friend Julie went missing. You stay. My friend Julie went missing, and she's a really cool girl. Like, you know, she's an artist as well, and we just got on really well. And at the time, I was running a pub at the time in England. Not when she was murdered. I was actually living over here. But you know, this is how me and her not met, and you know, we kicked it off really well. And because we was both artists, we were just, you know, it was great. And one night she decided to go out to a bar. She bumps into a complete maniac. If you saw him, you probably wouldn't have thought he was a maniac. Obviously Julie was a lesbian, and the guy that she bumped into in the bar was gay. So, you know, she probably felt safe or whatever, and he invited her back to his house for a couple of drinks. And she got back to the house, and him and his boyfriend brutally murdered her, chopped her into, I think it was about 10 pieces. Chopped her head off, her arms off, her legs off, everything, and carried her down to the canal, bag at a time, and just dropped her in the canal like she was nothing, you know. And it was terrible. It was terrible. Her partner at the time, Elaine Gay, I felt really bad for her, because I think she did say, she said it was like she knew. Yeah, trigger warning. It was like she knew what had happened. And hang on, just bear with me. Just listen to a little bit more of this here.
On in the acting out of a heinous monster's twisted fantasy.
Just bear with me. What?
Back across the big drink and back to the UK, and more specifically to Rawson. Known affectionately as Juju, Julia was a 42-year-old market trader in Dudley and one of 3 siblings. I know it's standard procedure to describe someone favourably when memorialising them, but researching this case made me realise the scale of the positive impact she had on the people close to her. One friend, when asked to describe her in one word, said that she was sunshine. She was known for being kind, easygoing, and somebody who would quickly make friends with anyone she met. Julia was also immensely creative. She was a talented musician with the ability to play by ear, and she was also a massive art enthusiast, spending a lot of her time exploring galleries and exhibitions. She even had her own drawings displayed at local art shows. And on Saturday, the 11th of May 2019, Julia spent the afternoon in nearby Wolverhampton with her long-term girlfriend Elaine. After this, Elaine went back to her own house and Julia made her way back to Dudley. And that would be the last time any of her loved ones would ever see her again. Julia stopped responding to messages later that night, and when the following day came with no response, her friends really started to worry. They walked her usual routes from home and around town to see if they could find any sign of her. She was known to be pretty independent, but she also failed to show up for work, which was really unlike her. And after 3 days, a worried friend reported her missing to the West Midlands Police on Tuesday, May 14th, and a missing person inquiry commenced. Investigators began to retrace her steps using CCTV. Shortly before her disappearance, she was shown getting on a bus bound for Dudley Town Centre. They managed to follow her through the town, where she stopped at the Bottle and Cork pub just after 8 p.m.
No hooves.
She then spent a while chatting to an unknown man at the bar. At about 10:45 p.m, cameras captured another man walking towards the pub before entering. Media in the hopes that someone local might have some information. Nobody came forward. They were also shown to Julia's friends, none of whom knew who he was. The footage was then shown to people who worked in Dudley Town Centre, and eventually a security guard working in the town centre on the 22nd of May, 11 days after her disappearance, alerted police to a male who matched the description. Police were immediately dispatched to the location, and they were able to intercept the man who was shopping in the town with his boyfriend.
This is when they arrested the guy.
Gone missing. We're looking for a female missing person. It's been missing for about 11 days. Okay. We've got pictures on CCTV with someone that matches your description with her, so we just want to get some details from her. She's been missing for 11 days, so obviously we need to find her. Okay. And because you look like the person we've seen on CCTV, we just want to get some details from you. I'll probably chop all the hair off. What's the name of that?
Julia Rawson.
Who?
Julia
Julia Wilson.
Rawson.
Rawson. Do you know anyone like that name?
The only women I know just go back there is family or they were.
Right.
This is my partner.
He took it to a far more sinister level. There was pornographic material on the subject of necrophilia, hundreds of macabre books, some of which indicated
This is what was inside of the flat.
Police described as forensically aware. He'd once even taken a course on forensics. He was evidently fascinated with serial killers and cannibalism. The flat was littered with creepy doll heads, plaster cast hands, Chucky dolls, and an assortment of tools. Even he would have thought it was disturbing. There were reptiles in tanks, extreme gore horror films, and the walls were adorned with stuffed creatures, knives, saws, and axes, and the grotesque face masks of characters from amateur horror films Nathan used to make. After his arrest, it came out that Nathan had been seeing a therapist due to some dark thoughts he'd been having, including murder and
I think it was.
He kept diary entries of his sickest fantasies, which centered around the indecent assault and killing of vulnerable women. Inside a drawer, police also found a napkin. Scrawled across it was Julia's nickname, Juju. And keen-eyed investigators also noticed that the carpet had evidently been replaced very recently. They tore it up and discovered the pair hadn't replaced the underlay. On it was a large, dark stain. It was blood. Julia's blood. The pair maintained their innocence, but given the damning evidence, it was clear to investigators that Julia had come to harm there. And so the day after their arrest, the case was passed on to West Midlands
This was the
Police's
worst part of
homicide
it.
team, as they couldn't find proof of life. And Nathan Ellis and David Leasley's charges were upgraded to murder, which is rare in the UK in the absence of a body. The search for Julia's body was paramount, not just for the prosecution, but also for her loved ones. But the location of Mission Drive provided an enormous challenge for investigators.
When I was asked to lead on the search for Julia, and I stood at the location she was last seen, which was Mission Drive, Tipton. Within 10 metres of the door of the premises she was in, I had a canal, I had woodland, I had a disused rail line, I had tunnels.
It's really bad.
A large coal deposit area. I had a residential area. I had no CCTV at that point to direct me from which direction Julia may have gone from the flat.
Police used a wide range of specialist technologies, including drones, search teams, other police forces and agencies,
I think it was
and forensics
fisherman.
experts, but it would seem futile. Since it had been almost 2 weeks since her disappearance and their arrest, Nathan and David had had plenty of time to attempt to cover up their crime. But a surprising lead came when Nathan's own mother contacted police to invite them to search her property, as the two men had been there recently to burn things in an incinerator bin. However, they hadn't done a thorough enough job. Police were able to recover remnants of burnt clothing. On the garments, they found traces of blood, which was sent for DNA testing. It matched with Julia. Police turned to CCTV once again to piece together Nathan and David's movements in the days following Julia's murder. As they suspected, the pair had used this time to destroy even more evidence. Footage from Oldbury Tip, a trash centre for any US viewers, shows the two men 5 days after Julia's disappearance dumping various items, including rolls of blood-stained carpet and a sofa that police firmly believe would have contained evidence of her murder. Cameras alongside the canal also captured Nathan and David walking from their flat carrying large bags. Neither man was able to give an explanation as to why they were there, what was inside the bags, or why they weren't carrying them on the way back. Following this, officers performed a line search along a large stretch of the canal, as it seemed a likely place they might find her, but they found nothing of importance. After seeing news of the case, a witness eventually came forward. He'd seen two men in a wasteland area near the canal. They were apparently acting strangely and carrying large bags. Police narrowed their search to this area, along with specialist canine support.
Yeah.
And on June 12th, 47 days after Julia's disappearance, police announced that they had made a grisly discovery. Body parts were found in several bags hidden in undergrowth up to 20 meters apart. The bags were incredibly well wrapped in thick black material. They were so well preserved that even on a hot day, flies weren't attracted to the remains, and dogs struggled to track the scent, except one tiny part hadn't been wrapped quite as well, and a specialist canine search dog managed to locate it. By the end of June, all of Julia's remains had been found. Her body was so badly decomposed that pathologists were unable to ascertain the cause of death.
Yeah. So, that happened at the end of 2019. That was terrible. To be honest, I hope it feels like it was last week. But it was 2019, towards the end of 2019. And it was crazy at first because a friend of mine had said Julia's gone missing. And I thought, because she's one of these kind of people that would just jump on a train maybe and go down to Camden and disappear for a couple of days, Which she was such a talented artist as well. So me and her, we got on really well. I don't know what the guy's motives was, but I do know as well that they were investigating 2 other murders with similar outcomes, because the police, the CID, seem to think that there is no way somebody could do this, did what they did to her, and this be the first time they've ever done it, because the way she was chopped up as well. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. But, it was kind of after the first week, you start getting really oh my God, where is she? What's happened? You know, and then the second week comes and you start thinking then, you know, maybe she's just left a partner and run. And then third week, because the last thing you expect, especially with somebody like Julia, is that somebody would have murdered her. You just wouldn't, you know, you just wouldn't think it, because she was so much of a nice person. She really was. I mean, that guy that killed her, you actually see the CCTV of her in the bar, and the guy was sitting on his own up against the bar, and she was just the kind of person that if she saw somebody on their own or saw somebody that was looking like they was down, a bit like me, you know, she'd want to make them feel better, and you know, she'd talk to them. And so that's from looking at the CCTV, I'm absolutely convinced that's what it was with her. You know, she just spotted him and thought, oh, you know, he's on his own, because that's the kind of person she was. And then maybe because, you know, Julie was a lesbian, and the guy that murdered her lived with his partner. They was gay, so you know, maybe that made her feel more comfortable to kind of go back. You know, he probably says, "Oh, do you want to come back for a drink?" You know, and maybe, like I said, the fact that he's saying he's gay and stuff is probably, you know, made her feel a little bit more comfortable. But she wasn't, like I said, I mean, it took weeks to go through the CCTV, obviously, to kind of locate where she was. And it wasn't took much of urgence at first, because Julie was a free spirit, you know, she was a free spirit. And if she wanted to go off the rails, she'd go and go off the rails for a little while, you know. She liked to drink, and she wasn't, you know, like an alcoholic or nothing, but she was just a free spirit. That's the only way I can describe her. You know, she was amazing. So really, I think that's where it all, you know, like everything started going wrong again for me. I found that really, really hard to deal with. You know, I mean, we was good friends, but it was just the way, you know, that she went. And, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, and again, these guys that killed her, I think that they was only in the 20s, you know. Julia was older than me, so it was kind of shocking. But this is what I mean. Kids are so desensitized these days, you know, from all the fucking shit that they watch, and all the stupid computer games and all this gore. And I mean, I can't imagine what she must have thought just walking into that place, because it was like an ace of horrors. You wouldn't know, you know, you'd be like, what? And I don't know if it was a quick thing. We don't know. We don't know. As I said, the body was that decomposed. They couldn't, and obviously it was cut to pieces. They couldn't actually give a cause of death, you know. And that was the worst thing, I think, is not knowing if it was quick or if she suffered. I think that's the thing that everybody thinks about every day. You know, I think you would in that circumstance. That's exactly desensitized people. You know, I don't think, again, though, it's the parents that are coming up in the world now. A lot of parents are that busy. They kind of, you know, let the kids watch what they want on TV, or let them go and play whatever game they want, and let them get on social media and do things that you know, it's impossible to watch a child 24 hours a day. You don't know what they're seeing. You know, I mean, I get really upset with my sister if she says that, you know, if my nephew starts talking. I'll tell you what, though, guys, you are going to laugh at this. If it wasn't for the fact it was so funny, I probably would have lost my head with my sister. My niece, she's 7 years old, and she's got a thing for Pennywise. Hello, AP. She got a thing for Pennywise. Well, she would kind of be in kindergarten reception kind of age at the time, and there was a drain going into the floor, and it was kind of on the wall of the school. Anyway, nobody knew what was going on, but all the kids were screaming and crying and shouting and actually wetting themselves. Kids was wetting themselves because she was pretending that she was talking to Pennywise through the drain. You know, and all these kids knew who Pennywise was. I mean, these are like 6 and 7-year-olds. They all knew who Pennywise was. Completely shit themselves and started running out the playground because I thought Pennywise was in the drain. She convinced them of it. And, you know, they called my sister into the school, and, you know, fair play to my sister when she says, you know, the teachers were like, well, how does she know about Pennywise? She said, well, how do the other kids that was running out the playground know about Pennywise? You can't just blame it on me, you know. And I'm thinking, she's right, really. You know, for all these kids to know and understand who Pennywise is and knows that he kills children at the age of 6 and 7, that is desensitizing kids completely. You know, and these computer games, freaking Grand Theft Auto and shit like that. I mean, they've got brothels in them and strip clubs and, you know, and kids and parents are fucking buying these games for kids. I don't. And then when these kids go out and do something fucking crazy, you know, like shoot up schools or fucking kill random people in the street or take babies and do craziness, you know, and people wonder, well, why would they have done that? I don't ever remember anyone from my generation ever doing anything like that. I don't ever remember no kids killing kids when I was a kid. When I was a kid, you was a kid. That was it. You were seen and not heard. You wasn't a spoilt brat. You opened your mouth too much, you'd have it smacked up. You know, in the UK now, it's illegal to even spank your child on the backside. It's illegal. This is what's happening with all the gang crime in England and the UK. It is illegal to slap your own child. You know, and I'm very fucking sorry. I've never had to smack my children because they're respectful kids. You know, but even now, if my kids spoke to me like shit, I'd have no problem giving them a smack in the mouth. You know, as I said, I'm your mum, not your fucking friend. And you have to have them boundaries. You know, and people do say to me sometimes, oh, you're a bit harsh. Well, AP, to be honest, over in England as well, a couple of years ago, people was running around with fucking clown masks on, scaring the shit out of people, and it was an whole lot of crazy media crap that was going on. But kids started getting fascinated with fucking Pennywise and scary clowns. You know, I don't know. I don't know who Pennywise. A lot of people didn't know. What's this one here? Exactly. I'm exactly like that as well. It is disgusting. Yeah. I mean, could you imagine? It would be on the news for weeks. You know, what happened to Julie didn't even make... They've actually made a documentary on it now. But I don't think it even made national news in the UK. I'm not sure. I think it was only like local. That's how desensitized people are. You know, it doesn't even... It's not news anymore if somebody gets shot. 20 or 30 years ago, Jesus Christ, especially in England, if someone got shot, that was a big, massive thing. That's terrible, though. But that's my exact point with computer games and stuff. You know, and you've got these young kids as well running around with the headsets on and talking to people through a fucking headset. And these kids are like 9 and 10 years old. And then the parents wonder, you know, and no wonder there's so many missing kids cases now. You know, parents act like they're too busy to supervise their own fucking children. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so this and I'm so that. You should have thought about that when you had kids. Being a parent isn't an easy job. Hello, Paul. You know, nobody said being a parent was an easy job, ever. It's one of the hardest jobs you could ever have. Nobody expects you to be perfect. You know? But fucking install some manners into your children. Install some sense of, you know, respect. Be a little bit more stricter. Show them a little bit of discipline. Because believe it or not, most of these naughty little fucking kids out there are craving discipline. They're acting out because they're not getting the proper attention of the parents at home. Sticking a child in front of a television or in front of a computer is not giving them attention. When we was kids, you was lucky to have a television. You know, there was plenty of kids that didn't even have a television back in the 80s. You know, or it'd be a black and white television. You wouldn't have a television in your bedroom. No way. No way would you? Our parents knew what we was watching because we all watched it. Unless our parents was in the room sitting around the television. That's how it was. You know, we had ages on films for a reason. We had a U for Universal, we had a PG, we had a 12, we had a 15, and we had an 18. What happened? That went clean out the window. And now a 12-year-old can go and watch a fucking film that's got sex and violence in it, and it doesn't matter. It's okay. Okay. You know, I don't understand the world anymore. I really don't. And as the generations go up, I'm understanding less and less. You know, because the kids that I'm coming up, a lot of them, they're all about fucking severe spoilt brats, or they've grew up in severe poverty, and they end up, you know, gangbanging or criminals. The ones that grew up all right and just spoilt bastards, millennials, I call them. You know, it's like it's just not the same anymore. It's not the same. I think the 90s was, you know, people that was born maybe in the 70s and 80s. You know, I think we was the last kind of generations to have proper fucking discipline. You know, teachers were still allowed to give discipline. Teachers was allowed to give you a slap. You know? I'm not saying violence is the answer with children, because it's not. But, you know, you didn't hear this shit when we was kids. I mean, look how many school shootings there are now in America. You know, it's just so much, so many. You know, people fucking go. Dylan Rolfe going into a church, shooting a load of black people in a church. You know, and these some kids. Fucking kids. Oh, I love Rhubarb as well. I absolutely love Rhubarb. We didn't get TV. That's the thing as well. Children's cartoons only came on at a certain time. You know, there wasn't channels dedicated to kids like there is now. You know, you get home from school and you might get 2 cartoons, like a Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, or, you know, something fucking mad like that. Oh, rhubarb. Oh, I used to love it raw with sugar. Dip it in sugar and eat it. Love it. We're talking about rhubarb. You have to, yeah, exactly. But that's what kids should be doing. You know, I mean, I allowed my son to have a computer. My girls never wanted anything like that. He had Xbox or whatever, you know, but I was fucking nuts watching what he was doing. You know, there was no online gaming. I wouldn't allow that. That wasn't happening at all. No talking on fucking earphones or no games that was not for, you know, he had games that was age appropriate. All my friends are I said, I don't give a shit what your friends are allowed. You know, you either have something that's age appropriate or you have fuck all. You know, it's that simple. Rhubarb crumbles, lovely. You're making me hungry now. Oh my God. Black Eyes Slides, what's that? I love rhubarb crumble. I'll make a brilliant one. I did a good one last week, I think it was. Can't you get rhubarb over there? It's well easy to grow. Kid that was on board. Oh my God, you're making me hungry now. You're right, AP. You're right. And as well, they're getting on YouTube and kids are watching gamers content. And not all the gamers content is for kids. In fact, I don't think most of it is really for kids. You know, you get certain kids doing Roblox or whatever, then you get fucking freaks like Timmy Atherton that do Roblox, you know, fucking adults. I wouldn't be having none of that. No way would I. No way. It started with Walkmans. It did indeed. It started with Walkmans now, and then the first like communications we ever had, I think, was pagers, and I must have been about I'd just come out of care, so I was about 16 when people started buying pagers, and it used to cost you a complete fucking fortune to page someone. I don't know if you all remember that, but that was about as technical as it got for us. God, you're more making me hungry now. Stop it. MTV and Pong. Oh my God, those were the days. I mean, Jesus, I used to like to kind of sneak a bit of Beavis and Butthead if I could. And I thought I was being bad doing that. But parents will sit there and allow the kids to watch stuff like Family Guy, young kids. Do you know what I mean? And, you know yourself, the shit that goes on in that. It's ridiculous. It contains... What contains toxins? Shall I have more? Rhubarb. Are you talking about? Are you talking about rhubarb? Because I always eat raw. Rhubarb grows anywhere. Yeah, it's huge. The leaves on it are massive. Who shut up? Oh yeah, we sticky toffee puddings and your rhubarb crumbles. No need. I like bread and butter pudding as well, Tamara. Fuck's sake, we're all talking about cakes now. Stop it. So rhubarb? I didn't know that. I remember when we was kids and like little kids, and my granny used to do she always used to do us blackberry pies or rhubarb and blackberry, and that was fucking beautiful. But she used to send us out picking the blackberries, and us being kids used to eat the fucking blackberry straight off the bush. Wow, Jesus Christ. Kids was forever getting worms because you just used to pick the fucking pick the blackberries off and start eating them straight away. And your granny used to go mad. She used to have to put salt in them to draw out any of the fucking worms or whatever it was she used to do. I don't know. But she was forever giving us medicine to stop us from getting friggin' what? Jesus Christ. I didn't know that, Nelly Kelly. What's this? Teens are vaping, bought them from the... Do you know what? Today, this afternoon, my partner's son starts high school. And I went to the whole school with them today to go and have a look around. And believe it or not, I was fucking mortified. They were showing you kind of what they teach the kids in what years and whatever. And I think they teach the kids about pornography. That was on the fucking board. I couldn't believe it. Not sex education. It was on the board as pornography. And I was like, what the fuck? You know, you teach, why are we teaching kids about, it's to make them aware. What they were saying, this vaping thing that's going on, they reckon the head teacher of this school is also a science teacher, apparently. And he was saying that the toxins that are in vaping, they're only just starting to see now the effects that it's causing on people. This popcorn lung, and there's a lot of other things as well that it's causing. But a friend of mine was saying that a nephew went into the toilet. So this school's really strict on smoking or anything like that. But my friend's nephew went into the toilets and took a puff of this vape, and it was a fucking THC vape. And he ended up going all funny and passing out, and they had to phone an ambulance and everything. And he was suspended for 12 months. Suspended for 12 months for that. I couldn't fucking believe it. What was that out there? Oh, my partner might have to have his took out as well, AP. Because that's happening to a lot of people. That's what it is, yeah. It causes some sort of crystallization in the lungs, and apparently it's worse than, you know, I mean, the problem is now is that so many smokers stopped smoking and started vaping. You know, how the fuck are they going to get off the vapes? They'll have to go back to smoking again. I don't understand it. Do not understand it. Oh, you are indeed. You are blessed to be alive. The thing is these days is they try to install a lot of fear into people, you know. But we know that, but they are really genuinely starting to see. Calls it popcorn lungs. Yeah, that's what, I don't know. I think that must be like so your daughter's not good. Oh dear. That's what it is apparently. Yeah, it causes crystallization to the lungs, and they call it popcorn lungs because that's what it actually looks like. It's horrible. That's right. And I mean, if there was comparing it to a smoker's lung and a viper's lung, you know, and apparently the vipers was a lot worse. That's good. That's good. My son's the same, Paul. My son's autistic as well. But there's no reason why he couldn't drive, you know. He can still do everything that everybody else does. It's just, I suppose sometimes, I don't know, it can be a bit awkward for him. Well, he don't know that. He don't let nothing stop him. Calls it popcorn. And it was yeah, just that's what I mean. The thought of that just it's terrible. No, Yorkshire pudding. You have to put gravy on Yorkshire pudding. Oh, it's lovely. Look, vanilla pudding, I found out it exists. Oh, it's the best. Homemade Yorkshire pudding is the best. They all seem to vibe in Southend. Oh, that's not fair. That's not too far from where I used to live, Paul. I lived in Basildon. I live in Ireland now, but I did live in Basildon for a while. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Right, look, guys, I am going to come off here. I'm not going to take up too much time tonight because I have got loads of shit to go through here that I've had sent me. I'm not even joking. It is unreal. Unreal. And I could show you, but I can't. I can't show you yet. We'll just wait till the weekend. But there's gonna be some shit coming out the weekend. They've stayed out today. I think they'll stay away now. But we'll see. I think they know we've got the shit on them, you see, so they're not going to be bothering too much. Oh, and you, AP. I love you all loads. I'm going to hooves. I will do. I'll do that in a little while. Some serious shit. I've got to email hooves, and I have to email Long Gone as well. I've got one for you. Right. I didn't know that. Hooves, you can pass it over to Tamara as well. That's grand. Well, yeah, I'm going to go now, and I'll email you guys in a little while. Well, Pink Warrior, have a lovely night as well, darling. AP, Cisco, Nelly Kelly, Tamara, loads of love to you all. Pink Warrior, Luna, thank you all for coming. We'll be on tomorrow, and hopefully we can go over. I have to wait for a little while, but we'll be able to go over all this shit soon. And get it all out into the open and give somebody the just desserts. I can't wait. Yeah, look out for it. I'm going to do it now, Hoops. I'll do it now. Okay, Long Gone. I've got to email you as well. So, I was in the middle of emailing you back before I come online, but I'll do that now. Right then, Hoops. Right, everyone. Lots of love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. God bless.